The defining visuals of 2025, ladies and gentlemen, taking you back to perhaps it is the biggest aviation tragedy in India. The Air India AI-17 crash in Ahmedabad, June 12th, 2025, over 250 lives were lost. And months later, as we broadcast at the end of 2025, we don't have answers. In fact, there are some reports, Arnab, that people are sitting across the table somewhere in America and deciding how to word that report. But it's a tragedy, what happened, and it's an even bigger tragedy that Boeing has not been held to account.
Yeah, and Boeing is advertising even more about its stronger and stronger and growing stronger commercial relationship with Air India. Regardless of that, about which I have no comment. And Air India and Boeing are commenting about how they've got the great planes here in India, again, on which I will have no comment. But the fact is, this was a Boeing plane. It was a Boeing 7878 Dreamliner, AI-171, and we still do not have a clear answer about what happened. What we know is that all kinds of jargon is being thrown at us. And this is sad, I want to say to the people of India. At the end of 2025, do you know what happened? You don't know what happened. Have you been told what happened? You have not been told what happened. Have members of parliament been told in the standing committee or whatever committee what happened? They have been told what happened. And this ambiguity, the situation of, it could be anything, allows the Wall Street Journal to put out a story saying the captain turned off the switch that controlled the fuel flowing into the plane, trying to put out this theory that the captain was on a suicide mission. This is so wrong. Abhishek, this is wrong. You allow this ambiguity about what happened at that point of time, and you have a AAIB report that did not deem it correct to name the pilots in their conversation in the preliminary report. You have created a great sense of disbelief among the people of India.
We have seen
that something like this can happen and they don't even get an answer as to what happened, and they'll be forced to fly the same planes every day.
And his father also came and he spoke about how he was the father of the pilot, Captain Sabharwal, came to the Supreme Court, broke down Arnab in the Supreme Court and said they are now speaking about my father. When the judges said that don't burden yourself, we don't believe this. So let's not burden you with the thought that we are blaming the father. We are blaming the pilot. We are not.
It's the easiest thing.
Let's play the clip of that moment. I remember that was such a difficult day for us in the newsroom, first of all, and I was scrambling that day. And I called some of our friends in the Gujarati television and broadcast and video media, and I asked them, can you rush to the place? Can your reporters go there? Before the Republic crew reached, we had reporters on the ground from other networks who were reporting for us. I'm so grateful for them for doing that. And but when the footage started coming in, I couldn't believe what I saw, because we saw a part of the plane jutting out from a building, right? And the full gravity of what had happened, it was not clear to us. And the footage of the plane's actual descent into the ground came much later, much later. Let's play that clip when the news broke, viewers, one of the biggest news stories of 25.
This entire plane is in tatters, you can see, and the more than 10 fire brigade teams are on the spot. Now, what we understand is that the Prime Minister office and the CM was taking cognizance. There are all the officials are rushing in to this site, and the airport operations have been halted till at least 5 p.m. right now. And more visuals coming in, viewers. There is no statement yet from the Tata group. They always say that they are ascertaining the details. There is no official confirmation, but what we know is that, at least from our sources in Air India, is that 105 casualties confirmed. This is the breaking news we have right now, what we know so far in this case. And in fact, Air India plane with 242 people on board, it departed from 1:39 p.m. It departed 1:39 p.m. from the runway.
We have a statement from the Tata group which says that they are very sorry about this, profound sorrow. They say there's been a tragic incident following 171, and then the rest of it, I must say, Mr. Chandrasekhar just put out a templated reply and, trying to divert attention from from responsibility by saying their focus is on affected people and their families. And this is not the reply that one expects from the Tata Group. This is a templated reply aimed at diverting responsibility when they very well know that issues have been serious and grave about how they've been running Air India, and these questions will only get more serious as days go forward. Templated reply from the Tata Group right now, aimed at diverting attention from their complicity and culpability and their accountability for an incident like this.
Yeah, I have an anecdote here. In fact, the moment it happened, I was somewhere in Delhi at a hospital, and Arnab called me saying, "Where the hell are you?" And boss called and he said, "Where are you? Why are you not in the studio?" And I didn't know what was happening. And I heard.
How come I'm the bad guy in every story that
no,
you
because you're the guy who was there in the studio. You were in the studio.
Just one minute. Stop playing victim here, Niranjan. You were in a hospital and I was being bad to you. Please don't spread the stereotype.
No.
I'm considered bad enough already. But going back to the story, because, after this, when I saw the visuals of Campbell coming in and Campbell being followed, I don't know if you have that clip,
yes,
Campbell being followed there by Harsha.
That's the sequence.
By Gopi and Harsha. Can I play that clip, please? Look at his attitude. Yeah, let's play that.
Mr. Wilson, Air India is seeking temporary subsidy from government over...
Good morning, Harsha. How are you?
Disclosure.
How are you, Harsha, today? Nice to see you again.
Yes, but you have to respond to the questions. Why Air India is seeking
I'm wishing you good morning.
Subsidy?
Good morning. It's nice to see you.
But 4,000 crore temporary subsidy?
No. Good morning.
Not good morning, but we are asking the questions here. Why Air India is seeking temporary subsidy after the Pakistan incident?
India still have contract with Turkish Technique?
I don't think this is the appropriate time to talk about that. We're very focused on supporting the families and everyone affected by today's incident.
We just wanted to know, is Air India accountable for this?
Look, it's our aircraft, it's our crew. We need to make sure the investigation is well supported. But first and foremost, we want to look after the people that have been affected by this incident.
One last question. There were multiple show cause notices given. Why were they ignored?
I don't believe this is the appropriate time to talk about things that are unrelated to this incident.
You would at least have information about the Turkish Technique. Do you have contract with Turkish Technique?
As I said before, this is not the time to talk about that. We're focused very much on the people that have been affected by this incident.
No? Just yes or no. Mr. Wilson, please say yes or no. India still have contract with Turkish Technique?
I don't think this is the appropriate time to talk about that. We're very focused on supporting the families and everyone affected by today's incident.
We just wanted to know, is Air India accountable for this?
Look, it's our aircraft, it's our crew. We need to make sure the investigation is well supported. But first and foremost, we want to look after the people that have been affected by this incident.
One last question. There were multiple show cause notices given. Why were they ignored?
I don't believe this is the appropriate time to talk about things that are unrelated to this incident.
You would at least have information about the Turkish Technique. Do you have contract with Turkish Technique?
As I said before, this is not the time to talk about that. We're focused very much on the people that have been affected by this incident.
Yes or no? Just yes or no. Mr. Wilson, please say yes or no.
Again, I just want to mention, if I may, 2 points out here. June 12th, the crash happens. September, the same person goes for a meeting and seeks 4,000 crores in additional compensation for loss to Air India because of Operation Sindoor. They do not give an explanation as to what happened, but they want the government to fund them. And I had, at that point of time, questioned both the government and Air India. And the people who have started doing this analysis is Republic repivoting themselves. Why don't they include this in the case? Because which channel took on the Tatas? Which channel took on Air India? Which channel took on the government at that point of time? Conveniently, they did not talk about it at that point of time. They only woke up. They should ask themselves, none of the media, viewers, this is a year in which none of the media asked the questions to Air India and the Tatas that they should have. Let that be put on record. One of them actually went into the VP PR interview with Mr. Chandrasekharan, trying to give the person a platform. So we've seen this. These are the same kind of people who give PR interviews, took PR interviews of Kalmadi after the CWG scam. You want to add something to this?
Quick
the
point,
India
it's
crash,
quite
big
disturbing
story.
because I just want to put this out. The AAIB report, when it actually came out, this was around 3 o'clock in the morning, and if you remember, on the call that we had just before that, because we were aware this was actually coming out. In fact, an insider within the aviation sector actually pointed out that look at the timing when the US markets really close and the AAIB report really comes out. And more importantly, almost everyone highlighted the fact that what was the need to selectively put out a transcript of the pilots when we do not have the full picture. What has basically happened now? It was leaked, and now this has led
and it
this
leaked
kind
to
of
foreign media
abroad.
platforms. It leaked to foreign media platforms.
That was deliberate. It was leaked on platforms so that the PR industry, which wanted to give an exit to the guilty parties, could get one. Yeah. So that was one of the clearly the big stories of 2025. We're still doing our recap.
Aviation